today's Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament Day 3 matchup between the Secaucus Patriots and the Fort Lee Richmond. Now for today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Patriots. Number 1, Connor McGill.
Could you imagine this?
Number 2, Aiden Concepcion. Number 4, Chris Pazgai. Number 15, Emmanuel Jimenez. And number 22, Adam Cornotis. Head coach, Tom Curry. And now the starting lineup for the home team, the Fort Lee Richmond. Number 1, June Best. Number 4, Guy Vickers. Number 5, Max Greenberg. Number 10, Devin Jang. And number 13, Isaiah Valdez. Interim head coach, Josh Ford. Let's play ball.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to East Gymnasium here at Fort Lee High School for Day 3 of the 2023 Jack Reilly Holiday Basketball Tournament as we get us tipped off in our first game of Day number 3, game number 9 in this tournament, as it's going to be a matchup featuring the Secaucus Patriots and the Fort Lee Bridgemen, each team 1-5 on the season, looking for win number 2 overall and win number 1 in this tournament. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Long, joined alongside by Dimitri Nanis and our camera operator, Renee Matisich. So glad that you could join us once again for our third and final day of this holiday basketball tournament. We have seen some fun matchups so far here today, and we will matchups, I should say, this weekend, and now we get an opportunity later on today to crown a champion. Fort Lee is going to be designated officially as the road team, as they're wearing their road white, and Secaucus in the blue, just getting ready to start off today's play. Don't know what the official stoppage is here. Now we are ready to go. Fort Lee in the whites, Secaucus in the blue and red. And Vickers will win the tip for Fort Lee, will be tracked down by Max Greenberg. Tom Curry, the head coach, on the sideline for Secaucus, and the interim head coach here today for Fort Lee is Josh Ford. As June Best missing on the shot attempt to the near side. Now it's going to be a chance for Secaucus, trying to snap a 5-game losing streak on the season, while Fort Lee is trying to snap a 4-game losing streak that goes out of bounds for a turnover, possession going back over to Fort Lee. June Best, Guy Vickers, Max Greenberg, Devin Jang, and Isaiah Valdez, the starters in white here for Coach Ford. Coach Rager under the weather, not able to be here today. Devin Jang into the corner to Max Greenberg. Greenberg coming off a 6-point effort in the loss in their second game of this tournament to North Bergen. Fort Lee lost in overtime in their first game to Bergenfield, has been the darlings of this tournament. They advanced to the finals after an upset win against Passaic as well in the semifinals. Secaucus lost to Old Tapan, and then the last time out lost to Riverdale, setting up this third and final game of this event, trying to snap a 6-game losing streak in this tournament dating back to 2021. Patriots a little off balance there, nearly turned it over. Running shot by Quinones on the near side, no good. Fort Lee trying to outlet it and run down the floor. Greenberg with a crossover. Isaiah Valdez from deep, no good. Rebounded inside by Chris Pazgai. Pazgai has been the best player for Secaucus in this tournament, coming off a 15-point performance against Riverdale. Had 22 points in the opening round against Old Tapan. Here he is now being guarded closely by June Best. Across the lane, Concepcion, the runner, does not fall. Hit off the iron twice, and now Valdez will push it. Valdez to Devin Jang on the baseline. Kick out again to Valdez, open for 3. And once again, could not get it to drop. Rebound, one and done, as Concepcion and Secaucus running down the other way. Pazgai across the lane. Shot will not count. They're going to have a blocking foul on the floor prior to the shot release. So 2 minutes gone by and still scoreless between these two teams that have been struggling so mightily this season to get some offensive production. Valdez picked up the foul for Fort Lee. That is his first, team's first. Into the corner, Concepcion for three. Left short, Vickers with a rebound. Guy Vickers was the bright spot against North Bergen. He went for 17 points in the game. They're going to be trying to get it to Vickers early and often. June Best pushed the pace, and the senior point guard got fouled to the act of shooting. That'll send number one to the foul line in search of the game's first points after that foul was called against Connor Bacchiol. His first and Secaucus' first. And Best will roll that one slowly in for the first point of the game. Best had 6 points against Bergenfield, 8 points, 10 rebounds in a game just before Christmas here at home against Riverdale. Goes 1 of 2 at the line. 1-0 lead here for Fort Lee, 5:45 left to go in the first quarter. Thanks for joining us on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. We've been your broadcast home all tournament long here for each and every one of what will be 12 games in this entire event. And a nice shifting move inside by Emmanuel Jimenez, the 6'1 senior forward, with his first 2 points, first basket of the game for either team. And Secaucus takes the early 2-1 lead. Jang pull up three straight away, splashes it home. Devin Jang connecting on the triple. First basket of the game for the Bridgemen. They lead 4-2. Bacchiol's pass intercepted by Jang. Jang trying to go coast to coast with it, got hacked from behind, and Devin will head to the line to shoot a pair as we're exactly 3 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. And Fort Lee trying to grow their lead that currently resides at 2 points. Jang's been averaging 11 points per game in this tournament as he knocks down that first foul shot attempt. 4 points for Devin here in the first quarter. Had a season-best 27-point performance in a win against Westwood here at home. That has proved to be the only win so far this season for Fort Lee. Jang goes 1 of 2 at the line as well. 5-2 lead now for the Bridgemen. Quinones, high off the glass with the left hand, no good. Vickers with a rebound. Outlets it to Valdez. Valdez triggering the break the other way. Greenberg tries a power dribble but got stripped on his way to the rim. Pazgai weaving all the way down into the offensive side of the floor. Around the horn, Quinones to the near side. Triple falls. And Secaucus has knotted up the score at 5-5. Adam Quinones had only 3 points in the loss against Riverdale. Worked around, Greenberg in the corner, high arcing three, no good. Pazgai with the rebound. Chris Pazgai was electric in the loss against Oltapan. 22 points, 16 of which came in the first half alone. He knocked down 4 threes. He is connected on 7 threes in this tournament. Past the midway point of the first quarter, 5-5 your score. Secaucus with Concepcion getting it back out top to Bacchiol. Watched by Max Greenberg. Greenberg trying to extend the full court pressure. Baseline jumper to the near side, no good. Carving out the positioning inside is Jimenez. Another putback there for the senior forward. And Secaucus, now with 5 unanswered points, has taken back the lead, this time at 7-5. Best got a step on his defender, flew right to the bucket, and won. As Jimenez made contact, he fell down to the deck trying to draw the offensive foul. Didn't shuffle his feet over in time. So Best not only gets the bucket, but a chance at the traditional three-point play. And an opportunity to potentially give Fort Lee back the lead with 3:18 left to go here in the first quarter. Jacob Greenberg comes in for his brother Max. As Best missing on another foul shot. He's 1 of 3 at the line here in the first quarter. 7-7 the score. That was the third team foul against Secaucus here in the first quarter. Quinones. Concepcion. Good fight underneath by Jimenez, and once again, he is fired up. He has been dominant on the offensive glass so far here in this first quarter. Fort Lee has had all sorts of trouble trying to box him out. And that's been leading now to 4 points. No, excuse me, 6 points for number 15 in blue. Can't complete the three-point play. Missed on the foul shot. 9-7 lead for Secaucus. Just under 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Devin Jang, nice move. Lost it, though, on the way up. Got stripped cleanly. Patriots with a good defense. Last meeting between these two teams came in the 2021 edition of the Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament. Fort Lee was victorious in that matchup, 53-42. Three-pointer off the mark that time by Pazgai. Devin Jang with 4 of Fort Lee's 7 points here in the first. Still haven't been able to get Vickers going. And Jang, he's up to the challenge. Knocks down his second three of this first quarter. He's got 7 of Fort Lee's 10. Richmond back in front, 10-9, with under 2 minutes left to go in the quarter. Devin Jang has had great first quarters so far in this tournament. Pazgai still looking for his first points. Quinones. Jimenez getting it up top, back heel. Looking to go pick and roll. Good interior defense, though, by Fort Lee. Forcing Secaucus to run a little more clock here with under 90 seconds left to go in the first. Pazgai with a crossover, drive and dish underneath. And Jimenez continues his huge first quarter. He's got 8 of Secaucus' 11 points. As we come up with the final minute of the first quarter, nice back and forth game between these two teams looking for their first win of this tournament. Devin Jang again for 3. He's in the zone. 10 points for Devin Jang. He has knocked down 3 threes. Pazgai blocked at the rim by Vickers. Devin Jang, start and stop. He was thinking about unleashing another 3. Valdez with the reverse lay-in underneath the rim. 15-11. This will be a time for a substitution. 37.2 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 15-11. Lead for Fort Lee. Jang getting the three-point shot falling. Valdez with a nice reverse layup as well. Jacob Greenberg tying it up. Thrown down to the floor, but it's going to be a loose ball tie-up. Clean play, good hustle on both sides of the possession arrow. Will keep possession with Secaucus. Secaucus lost to Oltapan 63-49 in their first game on Wednesday, and then lost to Riverdale 66-39 on Thursday. In that first game, they actually took the lead back after trailing early in the first. They took the lead in the second quarter. Oltapan then eventually pulled away. Knocked out of bounds. Possession once again will stay here with Secaucus. And Josh Ford operating as the interim head coach for this game for Fort Lee, as Coach Schrager not available here today. Pazgai open for 3 in the near side corner. Air ball shot. Rare miss for him. They try quickly to get down the other way, but Valdez and Fort Lee throw it out of bounds as Nazay Murray had come onto the floor for the first time off of the Bridgman bench. Pointed it out to the floor. Contorted shot, no good. Tipped out, though. Quinones. Pazgai takes the 3 just to beat the buzzer, no good. Vickers with a rebound underneath, and that'll end the first quarter of play with Fort Lee on top of Secaucus by a score of 15-11. Devin Jang unleashes his outside shot. He knocks down 3 threes in that first quarter of action to lead Fort Lee to the 4-point advantage after 1. Fort Lee Athletics would like to thank our premier sponsor of the Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament this year, the Gyro Project. Please visit the Gyro Project at 2151 Lemoyne Avenue for a delicious modern take on what Greek food is all about. Noble Fitness, located at 2460 Lemoyne Ave, is also a proud tournament sponsor. Noble Fitness, step into the most powerful version of yourself. I'd like to also thank Base Camp Fitness, located in Edgewater in the Whole Foods Plaza. Base Camp Fitness gets stronger at your level in less time. Anytime Fitness of Cliffside Park is also a proud sponsor of this year's Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament. Icon Recovery and Saddlebrook are committed to being a guiding force in the journey towards lasting recovery from substance abuse. And a special thank you to Shoe Cosmetics and the Vickers family for helping us sponsor this year's 2023 Holiday Tournament. Dan Long, Renee Matisich, Dimitri Nanis, thanks for joining us for Day 3 coverage here from Fort Lee High School's East Gymnasium. Fort Lee leading Secaucus in our first game of the day, 15-11 after the first quarter. Jang had the floater, but rattled in and out. Secaucus now pushing the pace down the other way. Getting it down low to Ronan Young, who's come into the game off the bench. Kick out into the corner, 3 ball, no good by Salmon. Devin Jang weaving his way through, dropping a dime down low to Guy Vickers. Vickers on the board for the first time this afternoon. 6'5" junior forward, 17 points, 9 of 14 from the foul line in the last game against North Bergen. Had only 7 points in the first game against Bergenfield. They want to get him going, especially if the outside shot is falling for Devin Jang. That 3 no good. Vickers with a rebound and stepped out of bounds, though, when he corralled that loose ball rebound on the baseline. Largest lead of the game for Fort Lee at 6, 17-11. Straight away, 3 opportunity, no good. Rebounded again by Vickers. Quick outlet down the floor to Devin Jang. What a great job of freezing the defender, and that's going to elicit a timeout from head coach Tom Curry, as he'll need to settle down his team. Devin Jang with 12 points to face the Bridgmen so far here in the first half of play. Timeout on the floor here in the second, as you're watching coverage exclusively here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Fort Lee struggled mightily against North Bergen just possessing the ball. They didn't have opportunities to set and fire, and I believe only knocked down 1 3 in that entire game. Devin Jang has had more time to operate here today, and that has been to great effect for the Bridgmen. Already 19 points on the board for Fort Lee. Their largest lead of the game is now 8. Out of the timeout here, we'll see what Secaucus will do offensively. Max Greenberg trying to produce the turnover and does. Here's Guy Vickers going down the other way. He gets fouled as he's trying to make his entry right down the middle of the floor. It looks like Pazgai is going to be the one who picks up the foul. For Pazgai, that's his first, team's first of the second quarter. Fort Lee's only been averaging 36 points per game in their last 3 games. No surprise, 3 straight losses for the Bridgmen. Well, Devin Jang is absolutely feeling it here today, folks. 15 points in this first half. He's got 4 made threes, and we still have 6:19 left to go in the second quarter of play. Devin had, again, his season-high 27 here at home against Westwood. Could that be in potential danger right now? He's got 15 of Fort Lee's 22 points. And again, an eternity of time left to go in this game. Bridgman doubling up the Patriots, and that's a hard shot and 1 finish by Chris Pazgai. First 2 points of the game as Murray picked up the foul. Murray's first, team's first, with 6:07 left to go in the second. Pascal gets in the scoring category for the first time this afternoon. A hard take across the lane, and Pascal missing on the foul shot. Neither team really taking advantage of all the foul shot opportunities in this first half. 22-13, Fort Lee in front. Jang kicking out, near side of Max Greenberg, handing it off to Vickers. Double team coming to him. Max Greenberg from straight away. Oh, that was silky smooth with the finish. Did not even hit iron as Max Greenberg connects from straight away from three. And Fort Lee is using the three-point shot in their offensive arsenal today. Menonez gets it poked out of bounds. Last touch off of Greenberg and Fort Lee. 5:28 left to go in the second quarter. Fort Lee leads by 12, 25-13. They have made 5 three-pointers already in this first half against Secaucus. Pascal kicking around. Quinones, who already has 1-3. Halfway down, it's spun out, no good. Pascal with a putback attempt, no good. Best will save it. It'll go out of the hands of Valdez, who tries to scoop it forward. Somehow, some way, finds its way to Devin Jang. Jang weathers the contact and gets it a fall. It's been that type of half here for Fort Lee. They're getting the breaks to go their way. Devin Jang with 17 points now for the Bridgemen. And a foul is going to be whistled as it looks like Fort Lee had a player run through the screener for Secaucus. So that should be the second team foul against Fort Lee. Looks like it was June Best picking up the foul, his second, team second of the quarter. Best performance by far of this tournament so far for the host team. Here's Devin Jang with a steal off of the inbound. Unselfish play, a missed layup initially, but Best pops it back in. What about that decision by Devin Jang? He could have gone up for the shot, passed it instead to his teammate, and Best, good recovery, popped it in after the offensive putback. And now a reach-in foul against Secaucus. Everything going Fort Lee's way as the Bridgemen are playing with energy. They're playing as a team, and they're finding confidence on the offensive side of the floor. Again, this is a Fort Lee team coming into today's game, averaging only 40.5 points per game this season, fans. Yet they've put up 29 points still with half of the second quarter remaining. Valdez operating the offense from up top. Was thinking about the hard bounce pass. Good defense, though, inside by Secaucus. Valdez skying. Oh, what a hook shot off the glass. An old school flavor to that shot and finish by Isaiah Valdez. Fort Lee leading by 18 and pulling away. Quinones taking the shot. Might have gotten a piece of it from behind by Valdez. Look at the hustle all over the floor for the Bridgemen. Best tracks it down, but then threw it away, trying to get it over to the near side to Isaiah Valdez. Fort Lee was held to only 37 points in an overtime loss against Bergenfield. 33 points in the last game against North Bergen. They've erupted for 31 points, almost reaching their complete point total from the last game here midway through the second quarter. Drive and dish attempt. Bounce pass was gobbled up. Loose ball tie-up. And the arrow will keep it here with Secaucus. Secaucus has been struggling defensively. They've given up at least 60 points in their last 3 games. And right now, they've been struggling here today as well, and keeping Fort Lee off the scoreboard. Backheel, line pass out top, and that's going to be a backcourt violation over and back. And possession going back over to Fort Lee. Again, if you're just joining us, fans, Devin Jang, number 10 of Fort Lee, with a game-high 17 points here in the first half. Jang, pull-up jumper. This time, missing it. Fight for the loose ball. Good hustle on the floor, and a timeout granted to interim coach Josh Ford as he called for the timeout after Vincent Giarratano got dirty on the floor to win back the possession after a missed shot. All Fort Lee in the early goings of this one, and we'd like to thank all of our proud sponsors for their support here at Fort Lee Bridgman Athletics. Emmanuel Jimenez is the leading scorer for Secaucus. He has 8 of his Patriots' 13 points. They've only scored 2 points so far this entire second quarter. Fort Lee led after one, 15-11, and have run away here in the second quarter. Outscoring Secaucus 16-2. Inbound to Devin Jang. Jang will pull it back out and run the offense. Coming up on 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Jang step back three. Got it! Oh my, Devin Jang, have yourself a half. 20-point performance for the senior sharpshooter of Fort Lee. Greenberg with the steal. Greenberg with the lay-in. Max Greenberg with all 5 of his points here in the second quarter. And June Best might have had the reach-in foul called against him. And if that's for Best, that is his 3rd personal foul. That's going to force Best to the bench for Fort Lee as Christian Bruden will come into the game, 5'9" sophomore. (36-13). Fort Lee in front, and now a reach-in foul against Greenberg, and the foul's starting to pile up here for the Bridgemen as they no longer have any fouls to give in the second quarter. Fort Lee had a similar type of explosive performance against Westwood, their lone win of the season back on December 16th here at home. They had to hold on late to win that game, 51-44. Can the Bridgemen keep their feet on the gas pedal here in this game? As Secaucus has shown an ability to get hot with some outside shooting in this tournament. Missed shot opportunity leads to the break the other way for Greenberg. He ran out of real estate. Missed on the layup attempt. 2 minutes left to go in this first half of play. Secaucus has had the defensive clamps administered to them. Bozgai got stripped as he was trying to jump stop his way across the middle of the paint. Valdez shakes and bakes, goes across the middle, initiates the contact. Referees say play on, no contact there, and no foul either defensively or offensively. Good hard-nosed basketball as we come up in the final 90 seconds of the half. Bozgai being watched by Bruden. Bozgai got past him. Floater attempt, no good. Hit off the side of the rim. Devin Jang emerges from the pile with possession. Good dribbling display there. Gets it down the floor to Greenberg. Greenberg hooking around. Reverse layup is good. Max Greenberg with an exceptional first half. He's got 7. At 6-point efforts in the first 2 games of the tournament. Greenberg was 7 in his first half alone. And Fort Lee up to 38 points in the half. Coming up on the final minute of the second quarter. Manonas is 3 from the near side edge, no good. Max Greenberg has been everywhere on the floor. He's trying to take it coast to coast. Stripped on his way up, last touch out of bounds off of Secaucus. Most points in a game this season for Fort Lee, 53. That could be in danger here today after Fort Lee has put up 38 points in this first half alone. 38-13. Step back, Devin Jang. A rare miss for Devin here from the outside today. Again, Jang has 5 3-pointers in this first half alone. Exceptional shooting from the outside. It's going to be a reach-in foul against Fort Lee. That will be their team 5th fouls, meaning that it's foul shots the rest of the half here for Secaucus. Greenberg got called for the foul, his 2nd. Jimenez back to the line. Jimenez knocks down the foul shot. He's got game-high 9 points in his first half for Secaucus. He had only 2 points in the last game against Riverdale. Hard-nosed player, the 6'1 senior forward. He's been a bright spot in his first half for Coach Curry. Goes 1 of 2 at the line, tipped down right back to him. He tries to hustle his way down, and they're going to say last touch off of Fort Lee, so possession will stay here with Secaucus. Elias Janeo is going to be doing the inbounding. Janeo getting it back up top. Pull-up jumper from straight away. Salmon shot no good. Tipped around, another offensive rebound on this possession for Secaucus. Under 20 seconds left to go in the half. Bozgai trying to shake away from the defense of Bruden. Kick out for a 3, and Secaucus finally knocks down a much-needed 3 from number 2, Aiden Concepcion. Devin Zhang, cherry on top with a foot on the line. Devin Zhang with a remarkable 22-point first-half performance. Zhang was electric. Fort Lee with their best half of basketball all season long, and they will take a commanding 40-17 lead with them into the halftime locker room. Thank you again to all of our proud sponsors of this holiday tournament, as well as to our specific broadcast sponsors, the law offices of Deborah L. Pico, LLC, Sedona Tap House, The Finest Construction, and Fort Lee SC. We thank all of them for continuing to help us bring you the sights and sounds of Fort Lee Athletics here on YouTube. Stick around, fans, as we'll be back for the start of the second half of play as you're watching coverage of the 2023 Jack Reilly Holiday Basketball Tournament here on YouTube. Welcome back, everybody, here inside East Gymnasium as we're moments away from the resumption of play in the start of the second half as Fort Lee has run wild on top of Secaucus by a score of 40-17 in that first half of play. Devin Jang exploding for 22 first half points, including 5 main threes, powering Fort Lee to their biggest lead of the season here today as we're getting set for the start of the second half. Looking at the stats from the first half of play for Secaucus, they're led by Emmanuel Jimenez's 9 points. He had 8 of his 9 points in the first quarter alone. And for Fort Lee, they are led by Devin Jang, 22 points for Jang. Max Greenberg has also chipped in 7 points for the Bridgeman. He was extraordinary, scoring all 7 of his points in the second quarter. So the Bridgeman might be in position here, potentially, to have a running clock in effect in the second half if the lead grows to over 35 points at all in the second half. Fort Lee trying to make sure that they ring out the 2023 portion of this 23-24 season with a win before they will embark on a 2024 schedule that will see them on the road against league rival Dumont, open up Big North American play after New Year's. Dan Long, Renee Matisich, Dimitri Nanis, thanks for joining us courtside. Max Greenberg has that 3 blocked away. Vickers with the offensive rebound, snatched it underneath the rim. Jump stop by Best. Best lost possession. And Quinones and Secaucus look to push it down the floor. Open is Concepcion, wide open 3. Left it short. Greenberg with the rebound after the air ball. Greenberg over to June Best. Best had 5 points in the first half. Picking up the dribble. Dropping it down low to Vickers. Vickers fadeaway jumper. Oh, nice shot on the baseline for Guy Vickers. Vickers with 4 points in the game. Shows off the nice mid-range jumper. 42-17. First bucket of the second half for the Bridgemen. Osguy's been bottled up. Greenberg trying to jump the passing lane. Concepcion got it blocked away inside. Greenberg saved it underneath his own rim. That's a no-no in basketball. Good hustle on the play, but Concepcion benefits from the vacated position for the easy 2. Secaucus held to only 6 total points in that second quarter. Valdez wide open from 3, straight away. Valdez with 7 points in this game. His first made 3. 7 threes have fallen here for Fort Lee in this game. They lead 45-19 now. Secaucus only had 2 threes in the first half themselves. Our next game will be for the third place game. The Passaic taking on Old Japan. That's coming up after this one is in the books. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch off of Fort Lee. Patriots with the inbound upcoming. Into the corner. Quinones, who hit on his first 3, missing on the subsequent ones. Outlet the other way to June Best. Best will get the lay-in on the transition. A timeout taken, 47-19. Secaucus in front, Fort Lee in front of Secaucus here with 6:04 left to go in the third quarter. And again, kind of going to be thinking that it's going to be triggering a running clock in effect potentially for the rest of this second half. Fort Lee Athletics would like to thank our premier sponsor of this Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament, the Gyro Project. Please visit them at 2151 Lemoyne Avenue for a delicious modern take on what Greek food is all about. I'd like to also thank Noble Fitness, located at 2460 Lemoyne Avenue, a proud tournament sponsor. Noble Fitness, step into the most powerful version of yourself. Basecamp Fitness in Edgewater is located in the Whole Foods Plaza. Basecamp Fitness, get stronger at your level in less time. Also like to thank Anytime Fitness of nearby Cliffside Park, a proud sponsor of the Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament. helping to bring all of you the sights and sounds wherever you may be. And we thank you for your feedback and your support of all these student athletes from all great schools. Backcourt violation against Secaucus. Possession will go back over to Fort Lee. Sub is being made here by the Patriots. Cutting, finding inside Best. Best is blockered away. Good defensive work in the interior, but exceptional hustle there by Best, tracking down the ball from behind. Greenberg sets and fires from deep. Off the back iron, no good. Tipped around in front of us. Good rebound there by Secaucus as the Patriots bring it down the other way. Feed inside. Vickers says no. Outlet down the floor to Devin Jang, and Jang is fouled on his way up. Chase Burkus doing a good job of tracking him down, not quitting on that play, but that'll send Devin to the line to shoot a pair. Again, Fort Lee on their way potentially to triggering a running clock if they continue to grow their lead here in the third quarter. Jang was short on that first foul shot. It's the only thing he hasn't been doing well so far here today. Devin, 1 of 3 at the foul line. Normally he's money in the bank when it comes to his foul shot opportunities. Shooting over 80% at the line this season. Goes 1 of 2. First points of the second half for Devin. He's got 23. 48-19 lead now for Fort Lee, looking for their first win since December 16th and snapping a 4-game losing streak on the season. Secaucus with a mid-range jumper, and that falls. Nice looking shot there for the Patriots. Vickers inside, fade away, some contact, no call. Ray Suknudden, number 44, was the one who came into the game and got the 2-point basket. Bozgai missing on the shot, tipped out in space. Suknudden again will take a shot, no good. Long sustained possession here for the Patriots of Secaucus. Won their opening game against Manchester Regional, have dropped 5 in a row since. Devin Jang poked it away from behind. Jang passing it down the floor. The layup, though, rolls in and out. Murray trying to get his first 2 points of the day. Here he is again, blocked away at the rim. Deflected out of bounds, last touch off of Fort Lee. Murray looks like he had an easy, uncontested layup, but had it roll in and out. Secaucus looking for pick and roll option. Jimenez underneath, rushed the shot though. Good help defense by Jang. Disrupted that opportunity. Vickers in the open floor, missed it, follows up his miss, and lays it in. Guy Vickers with 4 of his 6 total points in this game here in the third quarter. Trying to go coast to coast was Bozgai, missed it. Then he lost that loose ball and a rebound opportunity. Jump ball ensues. Possession arrow will keep it down in this end of the floor with Secaucus. Wide open man in the corner for Secaucus. Hit into the side of the backboard. Jacob Greenberg pops it forward to himself. And that's an offensive foul as Greenberg was trying to initiate the contact himself. Good recovery defense there by Secaucus. So even despite the discrepancy on the scoreboard, Secaucus, to their credit, a lot of their players doing all the little hustle plays here late in the third quarter. 50-21 lead for the Bridgemen. Vickers stays with the man. Wild shot, no good. Young with the offensive rebound. Quinones from 15, no good. Devin Jang had it stripped away. Here are the hustle plays inside. Vickers makes the block near the rim. Another block, this time by Valdez. Fort Lee's interior defense has been exceptional in this game. Almanzar, step back three, no good. Karam's out in the corner. Young races after it, saves the possession. Secaucus, another jumper, no good. Tipped out in space, Jang outlets it down the floor to Vickers. Vickers with a one-hand flush. Another assist for Devin Jang. Guy Vickers with a highlight reel finish. Vickers with 8 points in the game. A timeout taken on the floor. Is it a timeout by Fort Lee? Looks like Josh Ford was asking for the timeout. 2:13 left to go in the third. 52-21, Fort Lee in front. I don't know if it was just a quick timeout to try to get a substitution. And it looks like that's the case, as all the reserves have been put on the floor now by Fort Lee and Coach Josh Ford, who is an interim coach right now, or Coach Schrager, who's under the weather. 52-21 lead for Fort Lee coming up in the final 2 minutes of the third quarter. Fort Lee a point away from their season-high point total. Volleyballed inside, and the putback is good there by Secaucus. Suknadan, 4 points off the bench for the Patriots. It's knocked out of bounds. Jacob Greenberg, 5'11" sophomore forward, looking to trigger the restart. Went out of bounds as Murray stepped on the sideline. Running clock in effect right now, 52-23 left to go here in the third quarter. So Fort Lee looks to be in possession of a great opportunity here to bounce back after what has been a tough start to this season. Not only just the Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament, Fort Lee played in the finals the last 2 consecutive tournaments, losing on day 1 and then losing on day 2. The day off to flush the system has worked wonders here. They've had an inspired brand of basketball and have produced offensively. Secaucus looking for some contributions from now some of their reserves and younger players. Concepcion with a nice mid-range jumper. He's got 7 now. Approaching the final 30 seconds of the third quarter. I'll say Murray getting it around the horn. Noah Garib has come into the game as well. Bruden took it right to the rim, left it short. A late foul call, though, as Bruden also slow to get to his feet as well. Bruden went hard to the rim and had some contact underneath the rim. Late foul call was whistled against Secaucus. As it looks like it was number 32, Marcus Goldsack, who was called for the foul. We'll take the injury timeout as Tom Herr, the athletic trainer at Fort Lee, is talking things over with Christian Bruden being attended to here on the floor. 14.2 seconds left to go in the third quarter. All Fort Lee in this first game of day number 3 action here at the Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament. See Bruden helped off the floor by Tom Herr. And he's being made to go sit back down at the bench. So it'll mean that someone else will have to come into this game, shoot the foul shots for Bruden as he is unable to do so himself. It'll be Max Greenberg. Looks like he will be the one towing the line here for the Bridgemen with only 14 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Greenberg hit all of the rim and got it to drop. 8-point performance for the junior. Hopefully Bruden's going to be okay after talking things over still on the bench as Greenberg knocks in a pair of foul shots. He's got 9. Bruden talking things over with Tom Herr. See Tom Herr's son, Josh, later on in this game. Nice, silky smooth finish that time by Manuel Almanzar. The three-point shot from straight away. And the shot doesn't fall just before the buzzer. 54-27, the lead after 3 quarters for Fort Lee, their best performance by far this season, as the Bridgemen with their most points in a game already just through 3 quarters of play. Stick around us, we'll be back for the start of the fourth quarter as you're watching all the exclusive broadcast action of the Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. We'd like to thank our sponsors again of this event. As we continue to run down the list, Anytime Fitness of Cliffside Park is a proud sponsor of the Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament. Icon Recovery in Saddlebrook are committed to being a guiding force in the journey towards lasting recovery from substance abuse. And a special thank you to Shoe Cosmetics as well as to the Vickers family for helping to sponsor this year's event. (54-27). Fort Lee in front. The reserves for both teams really on the floor now. Outside of Concepcion, who is one of the remaining starters in this game, guarding the ball for Secaucus. Max Greenberg playing right now after Bruden was injured near the end of that third quarter. Jacob Greenberg from straight away. No good. Tipped around by Murray. Got it out to Greenberg. Giarratano handing it off now to Max. Max Greenberg with 9 points in this game, trying to get to double figures, rattled in and out. And a foul inside against Fort Lee's Giarratano as he was trying to crash the offensive boards. Fort Lee behind an explosive second quarter blew this game wide open. They outscored Secaucus 25-6 in that second quarter and have not looked back since. Concepcion driving, dishing, wide open 3 ball on the far side, no good. Offensive rebound inside by Salmon. Fight for the loose ball, and the arrow will keep it on this side of the floor for Secaucus. Fort Lee finished last year second in this tournament to North Bergen. The previous year they lost to Kennedy in the final in 2021. Corner 3 ball, high arcing 3-point shot, no good. Jacob Greenberg will trigger the break the other way. Jacob Greenberg will get fouled on his way up, this time it looks like by Chris Posguy. And that'll send Jacob to the line, shooting 2 with 6:15 and counting left to go here in the fourth quarter. Again, a running clock in effect. As Greenberg rattles in his first point of the afternoon. Our next game is going to be the third place game. Old Japan taking on Passaic. That'll be coming up next in its own broadcast link here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Jacob goes 2 for 2 at the line. His first 2 points of the afternoon. and a travel against Secaucus. .56-27 left to go in regulation. Murray going down the left side. He draws the contact, and Murray will have a chance to get his first 2 points, potentially, of this game as he goes to the foul line. I'll say Murray missing on the first foul shot. Murray had 3 points in the first game of the tournament against Bergenfield, knocking down a three-pointer. Murray missing on a pair. Offensive rebound inside, though. Put-back attempt by Junhyu Lee was no good. On the baseline, backheel, back it right out. Jimenez trying to spin around his defender, and in doing so, gets called for the traveling violation. On the horizon in the new year for Secaucus, they will travel to Harrison on January 3rd and North Arlington on the 5th before coming back home to host Weehawken on the 8th. Three-pointer no good. Tipped out of bounds. Stepping out of bounds on the baseline was Salmon. For Fort Lee, the road ahead, they travel to Dumont to open up league play on the 2nd. And then we'll be back here on January 4th. We'll be broadcasting that game for you fans to enjoy here on YouTube against Ridgeville Park. Garib, wild shot, nearly had a high banker go in for a shot. We saw Garib had an outstanding half-court buzzer beater shot in a home game earlier this winter. .320 and counting now left to go. Pacquiao sending it around the perimeter. Osguy missing on that shot. Follow up and going backdoor, but also missing the layup. Just hasn't been his day after 2 extraordinary performances earlier on in this tournament for Chris Posguy. Posguy with only 2 points so far in this game for Secaucus, and Coach Curry will sub him off and give him a breather the rest of this game. Just picked up his 3rd personal foul as well. Jacob Greenberg, jump stop, feeding his teammate inside the lane. No good by Murray. Janeo had that first rebound for Secaucus. Under 2.5 minutes now left to go in the game. Fort Lee's defense has not trailed off since the reserves have come in as well, as Bacchial with that moon shot of a 3. His first 3 points of the contest. 56-30 lead now for Fort Lee. Murray trying to dump it down low to Lee. Lee took the extra step inside, and that's going to lead to a turnover. So we'll be back to broadcast the next regular season game for Fort Lee against Ridgeville Park on January 4th. That'll be their first home league matchup. Again, starting off the season against Dumont on the road on January 2nd. .90 seconds remaining. Marcus Goldsack, number 32, is working around the perimeter. Running shot. Rattled in and out that time for Burkus. Jacob Greenberg across the floor. He'll just pull up from deep. Hit it on the front iron. Murray getting it over to Giratano. Back to Murray. Straight away. Knocks down the 3. Zay Murray, his second made 3 of this tournament. His first 3 points of this game. 59-30. Fort Lee in front with under a minute now left to go in the 4th quarter. Bacchial Looking for his second consecutive three, no good. Good offensive rebound, though, by the Patriots, and that eventually finds its way into the hands of Chase Burkus, who connects from downtown. Shaquille Earl, number 31, was the man who kept that possession alive with his offensive rebound, finally getting it over to Burkus for the three. So Fort Lee just going to be content with taking out the remaining 20 seconds of this game. This was a necessary bounce-back performance. The day off proved to work wonders for Fort Lee. An inspired effort. Devin Jang was unconscious as a shooter. 23-point performance for Jang. He had 22 in the first half alone. And the backups got to play a majority of the second half as well. And that'll do it here from East Gymnasium as Fort Lee is victorious by a final score of 59-33. Defeating Secaucus for the second time in 3 years here in this Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament. Secaucus will fall to 1-6 on the season, while Fort Lee will improve to 2-5 overall. Again, Secaucus will next be in action after New Year's on the road at Harrison in NJIC action, while Fort Lee will open up league play on January 2nd on the road at Dumont. As I believe that we are going to have some awards given out to respective members of their teams. We'll see if those announcements will be made as Secaucus again will finish up their play here, having lost to Oltapan, Riverdale, and now Fort Lee. Fort Lee manages to produce a win in this tournament after falling in the first 2 days of action. Our next broadcast upcoming will be the battle for third place in this tournament, as it'll be Oltapan taking on Passaic in a matchup featuring two teams that won on their first day but fell in the semifinal round. So that's going to be coming up shortly here on our YouTube broadcast. Waiting to just find out if potentially we're going to be joined by anyone after this game. So it could be no post-game interview here today. We'll wait another time, as potentially we were looking to see if interim head coach Josh Ford wanted to talk things over. But congratulations to Fort Lee on the 59-33 victory. And in this point, just like to wish all the Secaucus and Fort Lee fans the very best of a Happy New Year, and wishing you all the best in 2024. So stick around, fans, and join us on our other broadcast link for the third place showdown between Oltapan and Passaic. That's coming up shortly here. For Renee Matisich and Dimitri Nanis, I'm Dan Long saying so long here from East Gymnasium. Take care and Happy New Year.